One of the key things in writing a blog post fast or more effectively, quickly, is Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to write a blog post fast. So if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss out on a new video that I publish. And if you don't really know what this channel is about, it's all about small business tips, tricks, and ideas you can use for your business. So let's get started with today's video. Today's video is the third in the mini blog series that we're doing, mini video series on how to start a blog. And if you want to check out the first two videos, you can go start that. We're talking about how to start a blog for beginners and then how to start a blog for free in 2020. Now we're going to be talking about, like I said, how to write a blog post fast. Now, one of the key things in writing a blog post fast or more effectively, quickly, is to have structure, to have an idea of what you're going for. Because if you are like, I'm going to write a blog post, and you sit in front of the computer, but you don't have an idea or know the direction you want to go to, it's going to be really hard to write it pretty quickly because you're going to be stopping and going and thinking and going, okay, what do I write now? What should I do now? So this is a quick outline that I'm going to give you that I follow for every single blog post that I do. And then in the following video, I actually give you a nifty tool that you can use to structure your outline that talks about the word count and actually lets you know if your post gets indexed in Google. So in this video, we're talking about structure. In the next video, I'm going to show you the structure and actually show you the tool. All right. So first, most important thing is when you are, sorry, I've got my nifty notes here for you. When you're wanting to write a blog post fast, one of the first things you need to do is you need to pick a topic, okay? So you could have lots of different topics and be very broad with them, but you want to narrow in on a very, very specific one. So let's talk about an example, okay? Let's say you are in a fitness company, okay? And you're selling fitness products, stuff like that. And in the blog post, you have lots of options, okay? You could say, I'm going to write a blog post on all my products, and you're just like list out everything on your products, but that's pretty overwhelming in a post to read, and that's a pretty meaty blog post. Now, with those meaty blog posts, those sometimes take a couple, a day or so to write because you're adding so much information in there and they're going to be so long. But what I'm showing you is a quicker blog post. Like we want these to be maybe 300 to 1,000 words and not too much, but something that is effective and someone can easily digest the information and continue reading more information on your blog, okay? So let's say, like we said, we're in health fitness selling these products and you're like, okay, well, I have all these products I want to do. Well, pick one. Pick one you want to talk about and think about the benefits of it. Think about something that maybe your audience has a question about, or think about a problem your audience is having. Like say you, say this particular product you want to talk about works on curbing appetite, maybe to help you lose weight, okay? I don't know, but let's say that you focus specifically on your one topic on curbing appetite and how you can curb your appetite to lose weight, okay? So maybe in the blog post you're talking about 3 tips you can do, okay? I know one of the things, I guess green tea curbs appetite, I think coffee does, and then you can use your healthy alternative. So say like you're writing this blog post and you're like, okay, well, 3 things you can curb your appetite. You have coffee as an option. Coffee is good, but it's maybe not the healthiest option for you to do, especially if you're wanting to be more healthier in your lifestyle. Green tea is a good option. It is healthier to do, but it doesn't have as much caffeine as coffee, so talk about energy too. But then at the very end, you can talk about a healthy alternative that does maybe have some caffeine in there, has some green stuff that is beneficial to curb appetite, but is actually nutritious for you as well, so you're not losing out on those nutrients and stuff. I'm not a health person, so I don't really know much about health, but this is just from talking with people I work with and how I help them with their blog posts and structures or things they do. So you have your topic, okay? You stuck to it. Now, what if you're like, okay, you're in your mind and you're like, oh, what if I talk about exercising? Exercising would be a great way to incorporate, you know, because you have after a shake, you know, you drink after your workouts or something, and all of a sudden you go on a tangent about you're drinking the shake after you work out because in your blog post you're talking about how you still want the energy to work out and stuff, and you're like, but I still also have this product that does this too, so you're listing 2 different products in there. I'm not saying don't do that, but what you want to do is create another blog post specifically for the other thing you're doing about how you can use this powder or whatever after exercise to give you more energy and stuff like that. And then you'll just actually link it into that current blog post. So you're not creating a whole other blog post. You're not adding that information to the same blog post. You're adding it into another blog post, okay? So that way you hook them and link them, and those are 2 different blog posts already that you did. So there's lots of options you can do. So after you pick your topic, okay, you pick that one idea, something that you're going to focus on specifically. You want to do your research. If you don't really know what you're talking about, or you're kind of like, I know that this, you know, this one particular thing can curb appetite, but you don't really know much about curbing appetite or many things about it, do some research on it. And then once you figure out, you know, like what the body maybe produces or how it stops curbing because of certain things you drink, you inform the person, well, you know, if you drink this, this helps curb the appetite because of this and this inside the product. So you actually are somewhat educated on, you know. Now, of course, if you're not like I'm saying, I'm not a professional with certain things that I do, like, for example, reselling. Reselling is a hobby I do on the side, and I create blog posts and videos for people who are interested in reselling and learning and starting a reselling business online. I don't come off as a professional. I don't know everything about reselling, but I am giving information that I do know and that's worked for me, and I'm sharing it with you. Same thing with these videos. Break it down. I broke down these mini series into 5 different videos instead of cramming in and letting you know everything at once. Because if I talked about these, these 5 tips I'm going to give you on how to structure your blog post, and then all of a sudden I go on to showing you the nifty tool that I'm going to do, also how to write it in WordPress and how to create your blog in 2020, that's going to be like a 30-minute long video, hour long, maybe more, and it's going to be a lot of content for you to digest, and you might not be interested in that. You might actually just want to look little glimpse and pieces, and you're like, okay, I've already have a blog, I created it, but I need more help creating content for it, or how to write it faster, or I do have a WordPress blog, but I don't really know how to write it on WordPress. So you just want to have that video, just how to write a blog on WordPress, and you don't want to know that additional information. So this is why it's great to chunk and break it down so it's easy for people to digest, okay? So 1, you picked your topic. 2, you did your research, okay? Found a little information, stuff that you might have not known. If you have to, if you don't have to do research, take out that line, take it out, okay? 3rd, you want to do outline, okay? I like to outline 3 to 5 major bullet points. So as say like we talked about let's go back to the health one where we're talking about like curbing appetite. You have this product that is great for helping you, you know, curb the appetite for cravings and sweets like that, okay? In the blog post you structure, you could have a headline being like, okay, so like the first one would be like, you know, what does it mean to curb your appetite? 3 ways to curb your appetite. So it's like the first one you talk about, what is curbing the appetite? What does it entail? What does it do to the body maybe? Then the next one you'd be like 3 ways to curb the appetite. That's where we listed, you know, coffee curbs appetite, tea curbs appetite, and your product curbs appetite. So this is just an example. And then the last one, you could do a conclusion if you don't have another one, or you could add another one and maybe be like tips to eating healthy while you're working on losing weight. So you add a few things in there about being healthier while you are curbing your appetite, because you don't want to just eat junk food when you're doing that, because that doesn't really help you lose weight. If you're doing all this work but then you're eating a cake every day, that's really not going to be beneficial to you. So maybe you put that in there. So just kind of think about, and when you structure it, you do those points, okay? And within those points, that's when you'll write out the little things. Like I said, each one has its own paragraphs in those, okay? I'm getting ahead of myself though for that. But you'll do your outline, you'll have your major bullet points, and then within those major headlines, do like a few bullet points of what you want to talk about, what your ideas are, stuff like that, okay? Then once you have kind of the outline done, you'll actually just go through and you'll just write, okay? Whatever it is, just type it out. Let your mind flow, because you'll look back at it and you'll be like, oh gosh, that sentence needs rewording, or that I typed that wrong, I need to go edit that. No. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about doing anything until the very end. So some of your sentences, you might repeat yourself, you might, like do wording funny in a sentence, but when you're done doing word flow, letting everything just flow out, because if you stop like halfway through or starting it and you're like, I'm gonna go edit this, I'm gonna reread this and edit this, the process, your flow process has kind of been like halted and like stopped. So I found just writing out, just doing it is the best way to do it. And then I'd have this whole post done already and all I have to do is go through and edit it, okay? So then that's the next one. The last one is go through and edit it. When I go through and edit it, I'll add pictures, I'll add videos if I want to. This is when I like bold text, or maybe I'll add bullet points if something makes more sense if I bullet point it, things like that. And that's when you'll do it all in the editing process. If you're reading it and you're like, oh, this sentence should be moved maybe up into this paragraph, just copy and paste it, move in that paragraph. So it really doesn't take long to edit because you already have everything written out and you don't have to stop and go and think of more content to add because you already did it all, okay? So that is how I write a blog post fast. One, I pick a topic. I stick to the topic. I don't veer off from the topic, okay? Two, I do the research if I have to. If you don't need to do research on it additionally, don't worry about it. Three, you can do an outline. So this is where you just bullet point, make a brief overview of what you're going to be talking about so you can easily just flow it out. With it, it's four, just easily flow out the thought process and don't stop. And then five, you just edit it. And I mean, six is given, you publish it, but that, I didn't think I'd add that on there for you. But yeah, so that is the thought process and the flow that I like to write a blog post quickly. Now, in the next video, like I said, we're going to be talking about a nifty tool. So all these bullet points, everything I do, I actually structure inside this tool, and it helps me let me know my word count, let me know how many paragraphs I have, like my goals, stuff like that. And then when I publish it, it actually lets me know if it gets indexed in Google. So with that being said, stay tuned for the next video because we're talking about the nifty tool. And if you have any questions about the 5 steps I use for writing my blog post, feel free to ask in the comments below. I will say the first time you do this, it's not going to happen right off the bat. Like when I first started blogging, it took me sometimes some time to write a blog post and longer than I wanted to. But then once I started realizing if I stuck with the structure and do it, you get faster and faster and faster. And the more you publish out, you're like, okay, I'm in the rhythm. I got this stuff. I'm doing it. So yeah, pretty much that's what you're doing. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and make sure you like and subscribe, and then comment, there we go, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos if you're new. And what I was gonna say, something else. Oh, I was gonna say this, do you guys have like a favorite sweatshirt, something? So I'm finishing these videos for you, these mini-series, and I was like, the other 2 videos I'm doing are on the computer, and I'm wearing this sweatshirt, and it's like my favorite sweatshirt I'm wearing, and I did want to change it. And it's like, this is my Too Tired to Function sweatshirt. I don't know if you can read it. My Too Tired to Function sweatshirt. Yeah, so it's like the ultimate comfiness of like, I want to lounge. So, all right, let's go on to the next video now. Then I'm getting sidetracked on this sweatshirt.